It's Friday Coffee, your mortgage millionaire. And today we're going to talk about market conditions and why is this still a good time to buy a home? Let me tell you why. Even with interest rates being in the low sevens, high sixes, low sevens, mid sevens, right? Depending on credit score and down payment and the type of property, investment or primary, yada, yada. We all get it. The rates are much higher than where they were. So why is it a good time to buy a home? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why Dave Ramsey, let me tell you why Blackstone, let me tell you why Jamie Dimon and a number of other entities are saying that now is the best time to buy a home, or in the very near future, as in months, Q1, quarter one of 2023. And it's because it's designated as the best buyer's market in the next 5 to 10 years, depending on who you talk to, which financial institution or entity, and their speculation. And they're predicting this is going to be the best buyer's market in the next 5 to 10. Well, why is that? Well, because we know that property values are on the slide. We know that. And again, depending on who you talk to, depending on which financial institution or which publication that you read, you're seeing anything from 15% to 50%. Now, I don't personally think property values are going to lose 50%. Maybe I'm wrong. It wouldn't surprise me. I just don't think we're going to be there. I'm thinking more 20%, maybe 25%. With that being said, though, here's the thing, is that as time moves on, the next 20 years, the next 40 years, things only get more expensive, right? They don't get less expensive. So if they go up and they come down a little bit, right? And then they go up and then they come down a little bit, right? And then they go up and then they come down a little bit. So this next couple of months, next 3-6 months is projected to be the best buyer's market for prices and inventory. The amount of inventory you're going to see and the prices and the atmosphere, the attitudes, right? I mean, that is an important role. That's what creates the buyer's market. That is all about attitude. It's not necessarily all about inventory. Well, there's more, this report says there's more inventory this month than that month. And look, it's a lot about attitude as well, because if a seller wants to sell their home, man, they're throwing concessions at you. We'll pay 2-3% towards the buyer's closing cost settlement charges, right? Price reductions. I mean, you name it, they're rolling out the red carpet for buyers. Look, that hasn't happened. That has not happened in quite some time, probably 2010. That attitude, okay, has not been here in 12 years. 13 years almost, right? So that is an important aspect of this game. Now, here's the other thing. Keep this in mind, man. Life is a roller coaster, baby, right? The Red Hot Chili Peppers, we all know the song, I think. Anywho, if you're going to buy in a market like this as such, and are you going to catch it on the way up or catch it on the way down? Another huge important factor. And I get it. Some people want to try to time it perfectly. I want to wait. Man, I'm gonna get it when it's at the bottom of the market, man. And first off, nobody ever knows when the bottom of the market really is. We learn that later on down the road, like a year or 2 years later, by the graphs, by the scales, right? We can, it was June of 23 when that was we don't find that out until later. So you're not, you don't have the crystal ball. You're not going to be able to determine that. What we do know is that, look, unequivocally, it is much better of an atmosphere and an attitude towards you, the buyer, to buy when you're on the way down. Why? Because so many other people think that they're, geniuses in this market and they know more than anybody else. And they're over there on the sideline. Well, I'm waiting until it hits bottom, and then I'll come off the playing field. Right? Look, that's normal. Unfortunately, and that's why people lose at this game that I'm trying to tell you about right now, is that they think they know more than realtors and Jamie Dimon and Blackstone and billion-dollar companies that live and breathe and bleed this daily. So what happens is, on the way down, there's not as much competition, right? And it's a better atmosphere. You know, they'll roll out the red carpet for you. Yeah, and the grand scheme of things, you might have paid 20 grand more for it than if you would have just waited for 2 more months, right? But again, you don't know that. You don't have the crystal ball. So if you're buying on the way down, they're rolling the red carpet out for you. You know it's already slid. Well, look, the market's already dropped 10%, right? You already have a deal. You already are in a better position than where you were a month, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months ago. You're already in a deal, in a better situation. Plus, the red carpet's thrown out for you. Anything you want from the seller, you're basically getting. Now, what happens is that when the market shifts, and it happens just like that, boom, and we catch it going back up because it's recovering. The economy, the housing market, interest rates, things start to recover, and here comes everybody off the benches. Woo! Now they're flooding the market, right? And it doesn't take long for it to turn back into a seller's market. So now you're trying to catch it on the way up. Oh, we gotta hurry up. Gotta get out there. You know, it's getting busy, man. You know. Yeah. Well, you missed out. You just missed it, right? You just missed the bottom of the market, and now you're going to catch it on the way up. And look, you still might get a good deal. You probably still will get a good deal, but the mentality's changed, right? It's turning now. At that point, it's turning more into a seller's market, and sellers understand. They don't got to do another price drop. Sellers understand, I don't need to give you $20,000 and buy down points and concessions. I don't have to roll the red carpet out for you and beg you to buy my home because there's 4 more right behind you. Mindset has drastically changed. You have to understand that. If anything out of this, understand the mindset, the attitude. It is a buyer's market. Take advantage of the buyer's market. But what about the rates? Yes, the rates suck. But guess what? You refinance later. You just, well, it costs money. Yep. It might cost a couple grand to refi later and a pain in the rear end. But guess what? What you're going to lose in the equity of the home. Look, we're telling you. Now, in the next couple months, 4, 3, 4, 5 months, all of these financial entities, Blackstone has already put $5 billion aside for residential real estate purchases for 2023. What does that tell you, right? They're getting ready to gobble up real estate because they know that it is going to be the best market, the best atmosphere for buyers for the next 5 to 10 years to come. Please keep that in mind. So, and look, if you can qualify with the 7% rate, it's better than 8 because it could be 8 next month, right? We don't know. I mean, some people, entities, financial entities and publications are saying that we could hit double digits before this is all over. Well, I certainly hope not. But again, nothing would surprise me. Would it surprise you on what we've had to endure in the last 28 months, 30 months? Nothing would surprise me right now on where it goes. Yeah, but we're hearing from Fannie Mae. Here's one. We're hearing from Fannie Mae that rates are going to be in the mid-4s by Q2, Q3 next year. Great. I personally don't think that's going to happen by Q2. I think best case scenario is Q3 and it'll be mid-5s. Still much better than where we're at now, right? Yes. But look, that just rings home. Refinance later. Get the property on the way down while you have a deal and it's a better environment, and you take on the higher rate, and when rates drop, you do a refi. Look, because if rates drop to 3, you're going to refi. If rates drop to 4, you're going to refi. If you bought a home right now and the rates were at 5%, which a lot better than 7, and they dropped to 3, you're gonna refi. It's simple. Let's get over that mentality. We're gonna refi you out of it. It's pretty simple when you put it into play. Now, let me give you, before we end this, let me give you some statistics. It's facts. This is facts. Where were rates when? Right? Don't panic. Check this out. All right. So, April of 1971, interest rate was 7.31%. October of 1981, those of you that have owned homes, this was the worst it ever was. 18.45%. February of 1990, I graduated high school in 90. That's how I threw that one in there. 10.2%. March of 2000, 8.24%. I threw this one in here. This is kind of a, September of 01, the 9/11 attacks, 6.82%. Pretty darn close on where we're at now, right? And you don't remember people back then, just throwing a fit over rates, right? We had other things to worry about, but you know what I'm saying? Putting things into perspective. July of 07, 6.7%. January of 10, 5.03%. Threw that in there because that was kind of when we were starting to come out of the recession, housing implosion. November of 18, not too long ago, 4 years ago, we were just under 5, 4.87%. And then today, November 22, call it 7.25%, right? That's where we're at. Some interesting tidbit stats got out off the Freddie Mac website. So don't panic. Let's put things into perspective. Buy on the way down, not the way up, right? Buy in a buyer's market, not a seller's market. And, let's scoop up a home and take advantage of this, right? And that's about it. It's Friday Coffee with your mortgage man, Eric. See ya.